Hi Libra, welcome to December. This is Teresa from Tarot by T. And this month we have a new moon solar eclipse in Sagittarius on December 4th. We have a full moon in Gemini on December 18th. And on December 19th, Venus, your ruling planet, goes retrograde until the end of January. So we'll get into the astrology later. Oh, and Neptune goes direct on the 2nd of December after having been retrograde for 6 months, 6 or 7 months. So let's see what the cards say for Libra. What's coming up for Libra in December 2021 in terms of love and relationships? What can Libra expect to experience? What does Libra need to know about love and relationships for December 2021? What is coming up for Libra? Okay. Page of Cups. Two of Pentacles. The Three of Cups. The Nine of Cups. The Five of Swords. The Temperance. The Six of Cups. The Ten of Cups. The Five of Cups. And the Strength card. And the card at the bottom of the deck is the Ten of Swords. Okay. So, starting in the month, you have the Page of Cups. This is a card of... pages can usually represent messages. It could be a message of love. Either you're wanting to let somebody know how you feel about them, or you may receive a message of love. I feel like it's more you needing to let someone know how you feel. And you may feel... sometimes the page can represent a child, but I feel because it's the first card that it's your energy. And you may be feeling really sensitive about this new beginning. You may want to have a new beginning, because pages, if you're not in a relationship, a page can represent the beginning stages of a new relationship. You know, when it's at that tender stage. And you're wanting to let someone know that you really care about them. You have the Two of Pentacles here, which is about juggling. So you may be busy handling a lot of projects at work, or have a lot of things going on in your life. Some of you might be juggling two relationships, trying to figure out, maybe there's an old relationship that's ending, something that was toxic, or something that, because I'm seeing the Ten of Swords here, which is the end of hardship. And you might be contemplating a new beginning. Sometimes the Two of Pentacles can also represent, well, at some point, it can represent trying to keep it together, trying to pretend everything's okay, and not really, trying to deal with a situation. At some point, though, with the Two of Pentacles, you're going to have to make a decision to let something go. It's kind of like there's turbulence in the background. So you're trying to pretend, okay, I can hold it together. But I think at some point you may have to drop one of the pentacles, because you don't have the energy to devote to both pentacles at the same time. So if you're in some kind of situation where you have to choose between two things or two people, you may have to decide, and that's hard for a Libra to make a choice sometimes, or to even take a stand, because because you're so good at seeing both sides of an issue that it's hard for you to choose one over another. You have the Three of Cups here in the past. Now that's a card of getting together with friends, feeling supported by friends. It's a card of celebration, parties, get-togethers. But it's next to the Ten of Swords. So sometimes the Three of Cups can represent a third-party situation. This may not be for everyone, but there could be a situation that in the past There might have been some kind of like triangular, like love triangle going on. And the Nine of Cups, which is interesting, is in the past, but it's also it's surrounded by these swords. So there was a potential in the past to connect with someone on a very sensual level or a positive level, because you even have the Ten of Cups here. But I feel like there was something that was preventing that union for some reason. And you have the Ten of Swords here. The Ten of Swords is something ended. You might still be recovering from that experience or dealing with it. But the Ten of Swords is telling you you can't give this any more energy. So whatever, if there's something that's ending in your life or that has ended, a relationship that may have brought you a lot of heartache or sorrow, because the Ten of Swords, the worst is over. You may have felt like you were down for the count, like something happened in a relationship that just knocked you down. And the Ten of Swords message is not to give this any more energy. You may have like walked away from something that was just never going to change, and so you decided to cut your losses and move on. And in moving on, you have this potential to connect with someone that you could have a really strong, loving relationship with, because you have the Six of Cups here, the Ten of Cups. That's about, moving on to greater harmony. You have the Temperance card, which is a card of connecting with someone where you're very compatible, but you're also very different. And this may be coming up in the future. Especially with this Five of Swords, you may decide, I need to move on. I need to cut my losses and move on. So whatever happened in the past, this Ten of Swords, the good thing is the worst is over. You're not going to repeat this pain, your struggles and your sorrow and whatever happened with the Ten of Swords. It represents a final ending. There could have been some betrayal involved in some cases. Or just a realization that you've come to the end of the line with something and it's time to move on. Now, the Five of Swords energy coming up into the future, you might still be having some residual, you might be dealing with someone's hostility or someone that's been toxic in some way. The best thing is to not get involved, not to fall into the trap, not to let someone push your buttons. So if you're dealing with someone who is being difficult or mean or toxic in some way, maybe they're not happy about certain things and they want to drag you into their drama or they want to push your buttons, you may decide, I need to just cut my losses and move on. Don't react. Because you got this strength card here. This is about controlling your emotions, controlling your reactive nature, not going to extremes, not getting caught up in someone's anger. You might be dealing with someone that has anger issues, that is angry about maybe the past, something that ended in the past, and they're angry and they want to take it out on you, or they want to project their pain onto you. You can close that door. Now, coming in the future, you have this Temperance card. This is about learning to compromise, learning to find a balance in your life. You may have been too focused on work and not enough on a relationship, or you might be having to meet someone halfway. It's about, finding that middle ground, realizing that if you're connecting with someone new, you might be very different, but you can still be compatible. You just have to see things from the other person's perspective and try to compromise or meet each other halfway and not go to extremes. The Temperance card also relates to the Archangel Michael. So you're receiving spiritual guidance at this time to follow a certain path. So listen to that voice, listen to that guidance. It's pointing you in a good direction, because coming here you have the Six of Cups. This is about healing from the past and moving into the future where there's greater harmony, or learning lessons from the past. So you may have made mistakes in relationships in the past, but this time you want to do it right. You're going to do the right thing. You're not going to repeat those mistakes. And sometimes the Six of Cups comes up when you're connecting with someone from the past. And I see this Five of Cups here. This is a card of regret. You might be focusing on your losses. Maybe there was a relationship that ended and you're still feeling a sense of sorrow at the loss. But there's still 2 cups here that are still full. So you're focusing on what's been spilt. You're focusing on the past when you should be turning around and looking at the present and the future. Like there are 2 cups here, so there could be, if you've suffered the loss of a relationship, there might be potential lovers in the wings that if you would just turn around, you could see that there's still love there for you if you choose to see it and accept it and allow it into your life. There is maybe there's something within you that feels a sense of regret over certain things you've done in the past. You need to let it go. 6 of Cups can bring people from the past, like I said, someone from the past back into your life. It's in your negative thinking sector, so you might be doubting it. You might be saying, well, So don't let the negative self-talk get in the way of love this month, because you have the 10 of Cups here in your environment. That's a card of happiness, true love. It can be there for you. You just have to stop living in the past. I think that's a main thing here with the 5 and with these 5s. 5s represent instability, and the 10s represent, especially the 10 of Swords, something is definitely over, and you should not give it any more energy. And with the Strength card, this is a card of helping someone. You might be dealing with someone that may need counseling. If it's not you, it could be someone else. They may have anger issues. They may have trouble asking for what they need or getting their needs met without resorting to like a big drama. So if you're dealing with a toxic friend or person, you may decide to cut your losses and move on because you're tired of the BS. But if you want to save the relationship, counseling could help. I feel like this person needs counseling. They may have low self-esteem where they don't value themselves, and so that could be an issue. So they sabotage their relationships. So I don't know if that's not you. It could be someone else you're dealing with that may care about you, but they don't feel worthy of love, and so they sabotage relationships. But you definitely have the potential for love coming up here with the 9 of Cups, the 10 of Cups, the 6 of Cups, the Page. Maybe all you need to do is reach out and let someone else know how you feel, and that can change things. It could flip the situation and allow that love to come in. So release the past. What's done is done. You can't undo it. And don't be stuck in a toxic situation. If you're in a toxic situation, it's time to cut your losses and move on to the love that you deserve and need. So let's see the new moon. The new moon is happening in your 3rd house, and it's conjunct Mercury, pretty much, in Sagittarius, and it's a solar eclipse. So a solar eclipse can sometimes eclipse a male figure from your life. A friend, it could be a friend, the 3rd house, or of one of your relatives, because the 3rd house could be siblings or cousins, aunts, uncles, that kind of thing. So especially with the 5 of Swords in the reading, you might decide to cut ties with someone that's just too toxic, too angry, and you just can't deal with that anymore. Excuse me while I take a drink here. So also, this new moon is making an aspect to Uranus, and Uranus is in your 8th house. So that's the house of intimacy. It's a house where we confront our darkness, our shadow, our demons. with Mercury there, I feel like there has to be some type of communication. That it would be good to reach out and communicate to someone and clear things up. Maybe there were situations on both sides, because with this Temperance, it's not just, it's never just one person. It takes two to tango. So you have to look at your part in the conflict as much as their part in the conflict, and come to some type of, see things from each other's side. I think you can salvage if you're in a relationship and you're going through some difficulty. I think you can salvage the relationship. It may be something that you did that you regret and you're feeling guilty about, or you're feeling, I wish I had handled things differently. I think communication will help to patch things up, to bring harmony back, but there's going to have to be compromise. Now, also, you have Venus and Pluto in your 4th house, and it is sextile Mars in your 2nd house. So you're working really hard trying to, achieve financial security. Mars in the 2nd can sometimes raise your expenses. But Mars, wherever Mars is in your chart, it points to where your energy needs to be, or where what you're working on. And in the 2nd house, that has to do with money, what you value, but also your self-esteem and self-worth. So maybe you need to work on understanding that you deserve more, understanding that you are worth more, that you don't have to put up with something that's not giving you what you need. Whether it's a love affair, whether it's a marriage, whether it's a friendship, family, whatever it is, you deserve to be loved, you deserve respect, you deserve love, you deserve happiness and support. So if you're in a relationship, because with Venus and Pluto, there could be some power struggles. There could be intense feelings. There could be situations involving your family, because it's in the 4th house, your people that you share your home with. So it could be, it could be children, or a love partner, marriage partner, where you feel like, I really love this person, I really care about this person, but I always feel like there's a lot of, you may feel overpowered by the person, or you may feel manipulated at times, or even power struggles, just pure and simple. Now Pluto, on the positive side, Pluto brings intensity and deepness and passion, and you can't have a superficial relationship with a Pluto aspect. So that's the positive, to use power wisely, to empower your partner, so that the two of you together, you're like the power couple. The negative side of Pluto is, like I said, power struggles. Like one person wants to be the power over the other, or wants to always win, or wants to manipulate to get the other person to do what they want. So you want to avoid that kind of behavior. And you want to focus on building a relationship that empowers. It's not about power over, it's about empowering both parties. Supporting each other so that you both feel secure and strong. Mars in the 2nd is squaring Jupiter in the 5th. Now, Jupiter in the 5th can bring opportunities to have fun, to have, because the 5th house is the house of creative self-expression, fun, children. So it's a positive thing if you want to have children. It brings abundance. So if you're trying to have a child, it's a good time to try. You may be worried about money if you're trying to have children, because Mars in the 2nd, you're like, can I afford it? The other thing that the 5th house can bring is romance. So if you're not dating anyone, now it's an opportunity to meet someone that you could have a romantic partnership with. If it's not, and then the other thing is to get involved in some type of creative project that you really enjoy doing, and it might be something that you could also make money from. Because I feel like Mars is kind of like the antagonist here. I need to make more money. I have bills coming. So what can I do to bring more money into my life? And what can I do that's fun, that I can enjoy? You don't want it to be a job when it's in the 5th house. Mars is also trining Neptune, and Neptune is in your 6th house. So that could affect your career in a sense that you're doing something that's serving the community in some way, some type of healing profession. Sometimes Neptune in the 6th, you need to worry about, watch your health. There could be, if you're feeling a little bit strange, you may want to go to the doctor, because Neptune kind of clouds things. Like, you may feel like, oh, it's nothing, and then it could be something. So don't, if you're feeling any kind of health thing, get it checked out, because you don't want to ignore something that could be an issue. Then we have the full moon in Gemini. And Gemini is favorable to your sign, and that's in the 3rd house, 3rd and 9th house. The moon, well, the sun is in the 3rd house, the moon is in the 9th house, I should say. But it's affecting your travel houses and your communication houses. So something is completing. You might be coming back from a trip. You might be dealing with higher education. Maybe you're taking a class and you're finishing up your course. Or you could be involved in some type of into a company or communications project that has a global reach. You might be dealing with a company that's huge, that's reaching out to the global community. It could be dealing with a institution of higher education. If it's and now the moon, because it's a full moon, so it's going to bring certain things to light. So if you're having an issue with someone in your neighborhood, one of your family members, you can clear things up. You can communicate and clear things up at this time, or find out what the problem is. The 9th house, the moon is also trining Jupiter in the 5th house. So if you go on a trip, you could connect with somebody through travel. You could connect with someone through higher education. If you do have some type of romantic partner or romantic encounter, it could be with someone who's very different from you culturally, maybe even a different spiritual belief system. But it's someone that you can have fun with. The 5th house is the fun house. And Jupiter there, wherever Jupiter is, it brings luck and abundance and opportunity. It could be that also one of your children may be moving away. And that could be concerning you, and it might come to completion now. Maybe they're going away to school, or they're going away because they have a job that's taking them away from the community. And so you might be concerned about that. But if anything, the full moon is like you're completing a cycle at the full moon. You're either completing something or you're seeing the light about something. Mercury is in the 4th, and it's trining Uranus in the 8th. So there could be some news about financial support or resources, especially a partner's resources. That should be positive. So you could have, if you're in a partnership, your partner may get a raise, or some kind of money might be coming in. It might be unexpected, but it will help you deal with any issues around the home, especially if you're trying to fix the home up or decorate or do anything. This could be a welcome surprise. You have Mars in the 3rd house opposing the North Node in Gemini in the 9th house. So the Gemini is about communication, telling your story. So it's maybe you're working on a writing project, or a project for some school, or you're wanting to communicate something. It could be a marketing plan. Whatever it is, I think it's going to be, that's where your energy is going. You might be busy working on this project that involves reaching out to the community, reaching out to the world even. So it could be some kind of publishing thing. 9th house is also the house of publishing. You could be finishing up a book if you're writing a book. You could be finishing some type of marketing plan or some type of campaign where you're writing a lot of, trying to reach out to people. The 9th house is also about teaching, learning. Maybe you're, creating a class. All of these things are positive, and they can bring positive things into your life, especially financially. It might help if you're having any kind of financial issues or bills that come up unexpectedly. Now, Venus, the next day, is going retrograde in Capricorn. And that is in your 4th house. So it could be that when Venus goes retrograde, Venus rules love and money. So when Venus goes retrograde, it may slow down the availability of both love and money. Or you could go and be rethinking, how am I spending my money? Am I making enough money? Where's my money going? What about love? Sometimes when Venus retrogrades, you could be reconnecting with someone from the past and thinking, should we try again? Or you could be going back to fix something. Maybe a relationship that didn't work out the first time around might work out the second time around. The only thing that Venus is great, like retrogrades are great for going back and redoing something. So it's not so great. You don't want to start a relationship or start something new under a retrograde, because you don't want to build that weak energy into it, especially a financial plan. If you're like investing in money, it's better to wait for a more positive time when Venus is going direct, starting a new relationship, starting a new financial plan. But if you're going back to fix something, like you're reviewing your finances, or you're reviewing, how much, maybe you have a plan to redecorate your house, and you're going back and fixing certain things that weren't done right the first time. That's perfect for a Venus retrograde. One thing you don't want to do with a Venus retrograde, and Venus is important in your chart since you're a Libra and Venus is your ruling planet. You don't want to do any cosmetic surgery. You don't want to go for a makeover. You don't want to do some major redecorating. Like, I think I'll paint the house, pink. And when Venus goes direct, you may go, what was I thinking? And you buy a new couch and you think, this is really cool. It's this great pattern. And then later on you realize, I don't really like this, So don't make any major decisions about money or love or decorating, anything that has to do with beauty during the Venus retrograde. But it will, Venus in Capricorn though, if you do choose to redo something or go back to someone from the past, the second time around could be something that really works and really lasts for a long time. You could really, because it's in Capricorn, it's going to involve work. It's going to involve seeing things realistically. But the result of your work and your effort is going to build something that lasts. So I feel there could be the potential to revisit an old relationship and to get a second chance and build it even stronger. But I feel like you're also going to see the truth about where your energy is going, where your love is going. And if you're involved in something that's toxic and you can't fix it, you may decide to leave it. But you also may connect with someone from the past. So there could be an ending and a new beginning at the same time, where you walk away from something that you just tried and you just can't fix, and now you're starting something new with someone old, someone that you may have had a past life connection with even. But you have the potential to build, love and joy into your life, as long as you don't cling too much to something that's just not working, or something that is toxic, or like a person that's constantly angry, trying to push your buttons, making you react. And so walk away from anything that's toxic and hold on to something that gives you the love you deserve and you need, because you can build a beautiful home and relationship at this time. If you decide to fix something, you can make something that really lasts. So that's my forecast for December, Libra. I hope you enjoyed the reading. If you did, click on the link or click on the like button, leave a comment, click on the subscribe button. If you'd like a private reading, click on the link in the description box. Since this is general, it may not apply to everyone. But if you want a reading that specifically applies to you, you can click on the link in the description box. It'll take you to my website and we can get you on the schedule for a reading. In the meantime, enjoy the holiday season, celebrate wisely, be safe, and I will talk to you again next month. Okay, bye now.